and welcome to Love and Romance Tarot Readings. I'm excited for today's pick a card. Today we're going to see Seductress, Angel, or Wildcard. What is your beauty in others' eyes? Whether this is your person or people who meet you firsthand, we're going to see, do they get more of a seductress energy from you, that feline, magnetic archetype? Or is it your light that attracts people? Is it your angelic, ethereal nature? Or are you just a wild card? And we'll have to break down that archetype and see what it is that really draws people in. That is our topic today. That is what we're going to figure out. My Etsy shop is in the description. If you would like your own private tarot reading, that is where you can find me. And you can always pick more than one pile for all of my readings and do your thing. For group one, we have the Amazonite koi fish, and we'll be using the Tarot of the Haunted House. For group two, we have the Obsidian Koi Fish, and we'll be using the Secret Mirror Tarot. For group three, we have the Citrine, and we'll be using the Adventure Time Tarot. And for group four, we have the Red Jasper, and we'll be using the Final Rose Tarot for group four. So go ahead, pause the video if you need more time to decide, and we're just going to jump right into it. All right, if you chose group one with the Amazonite and the Tarot of the Haunted House, this is your reading, tapping in to see your beauty in their eyes. Is it more angelic? Are you a wild card? Or are you just pure temptation? Are you a seductress? We shall see, Spirit, for group one with the Amazonite. Please show us the beauty in their eyes. How do other people see them? What do other people like about them? Okay, so right away, I'm getting a strong energy of you kind of being the best of both worlds, group one. One thing that people are really drawn to you about is the fact that you feel secure, your home life feels comfortable, but at the same time, there's a lot of adventure, there's a lot of wanderlust for you. It's like, I want to see the world, or I want to experience different cultures, different things. I want to be a multilingual person, or I want to be someone who has more than just one archetype, more than just one skill. So far it's looking like wild card, but we'll have to see. And you know what? Now that I'm looking at it, we got Uranus here, our planet of change and evolution, showing up as well. So let's break this down. We got Uranus, we got Sagittarius coming through strong for you. Uranus, it says breakthroughs, originality. Yeah, you're an original person. You may have experienced in school age that a lot of people would copy you, or that you would start trends. A lot of people want to be like you, and it's really, really interesting because what I'm hearing is that even people who are mean to you, or if you ever experienced any bullying, you may have noticed that those very same people were the ones who were reaching out like they back itching, okay? No Cardi B motorsport, period. Like, you may have noticed that there were people who were mean to you on one end, or, you know, publicly, but privately wanted to ask you a whole lot of questions, try to understand your style, try to understand where you get your clothes from, or where you get your style from, try to embody you, copy you. And people have a love-hate relationship with you. And I feel like group one, you're one of those people that elicits very strong responses out of people. People can't just be neutral with you. People always react to you. And you could be so low-key minding your business. It says technology, innovation, reform, surprise, freedom, the unexpected, diversity, enlightening. So you're one of the kind of people that you don't have one specific aesthetic. You're definitely a wild card. You may dress on how you feel that day. Like, your style, your aesthetic depends on what you're thinking, what you're feeling, where you're at in life, and also what archetypes you want to embody. You may even do like a higher level of kind of spiritually dressing yourself, where you correspond like the planet of the day or the mood of the day, you know, your personal cycle. You may relate that to how you appear in the world. A lot of reform with you, a lot of diversity and freedom. And that's surprisingly quite frustrating to people. Because whereas everyone else is trying to climb up the social ladder or be someone or project themselves into the reality as something specific, you really go with the flow, and there isn't one way that people see you. So it's quite frustrating. They can't put you in a box. Sagittarius, the Voyager, it says enthusiastic, philosophical, independent. So another card talking about like your freedom, your independence, your spontaneity. It says happy-go-lucky, adventurous, honest, experimental, lucky, boundless, traveling, risk-taking, and self-righteous. So you really do believe in yourself. And for the most part, you honestly have a belief that you're right most of the time. And honestly, it may be because you are, because the thing about people who don't chain themselves to like one aesthetic or one belief is their beliefs can change. Even if it doesn't benefit them, they can still accept something. So it's kind of hard for people to manipulate you, because that's the thing that people want to use against you, right? The negative. But for someone who accepts the negative, or for someone who accepts negative things, even if it's not directly to do with you, it gives you such a deeper level of truth that most people can't meet, and most people can't even, get to, because it takes a lot of acceptance, even of things that you don't want to accept. And it's frustrating. You have a lot of spiritual growth and a lot of personal growth. So we got the sun with being in the 4th house with roots. The sun corresponds to the solar plexus. Group 1, you have aura, massive, massive aura. And I feel like that's why, people couldn't stay away from you, even if they didn't really like you or want to associate with you publicly. You may have experienced people who want to be in a relationship with you low-key, or want to be friends with you low-key. But in public, it's like, they kind of want to keep their social standing. The sun card, it says essence, energy, self-awareness, life force. Yeah, you have so much life force. It also says your spirit, creativity, your honor, your masculinity. So you could be a feminine with a strong masculine energy, a strong presence. It says individuality, solitude, self-sufficiency, and the father on here. It also says the heartbeat. So you have such a strong relationship with yourself. A lot of people don't see you as someone who feels love super deeply, but you definitely feel it. I just feel like your actions don't reflect your emotions all the time. You could be more logical and more experimental, versus trying to tether yourself to one belief or one person, or you don't make yourself responsible for other people. So you could love someone genuinely from a distance and support them from a distance, but because that's not always reflected, in your actions or directly to other people, I feel like people really want to manipulate you. Not gonna lie, Group 1, it would be like the best thing on earth if they could say that they won against you, or if they could use you as a weapon. That's why people want to be so close to you, because they want to use you. And it's like they have that love-hate relationship with you because they love it, they see your value, but also they hate it because they cannot wield that value. They cannot control you. And that is so disturbing and frustrating for some people when they see you and you have all this value, and it's just like, oh my goodness, I could turn my life around if I could use this person in my favor, but they won't allow me to. So I'm just sitting here and it feels like you're a dangled carrot. I feel like that's why people have very extreme responses to you. Okay, and then we have the 4th house with the roots. It says family, home, background, comfort, cooking. You could be a really good cook. It says inner world, real estate. You could be into real estate, or own your own home, or planning to get your own home, or decorate your home very well. Your inner world seems to be very comfortable. It says shelter, self-care, rejuvenation. You spend time with yourself. You're an individualist. You're definitely a wild card, because even that, it's like, okay, you're someone who practices self-care, really takes care of yourself, live a very comfortable life, but because people can't live that with you unless invited, they can't force their way in, they can't manipulate being able to use your resources or be around you. That's what makes them have that love-hate relationship with you. You're definitely a wild card. And right as I say that, we got the shapeshifter coming out, and I feel like I don't feel like you're that much of a wild card. I feel like if people had strong pattern recognition, they would likely pick up on a pattern with you or understand you. But I feel like there's just this consistent theme of people wanting to use you or wield your power. And when they're not able to do that, that's when they kind of crash out or get frustrated. But that's very much so a them problem. We got the Messiah and the Shapeshifter here. So definitely tapped into higher levels of wisdom and humanity. The Messiah, it says serving humanity with humility. So you may, yeah, I'm feeling like you support a cause or you do something for humanity or even for animals behind the scenes. This could be as small as composting and recycling. This could be as big as, you know, giving up a Saturday to build a home for Habitats for Humanity. You know, like you serve humanity in some way. This could also be with your opinions and what you share with the world if you have a platform, but you're a shapeshifter through and through. And I just think it's natural to want to put people in boxes as humans, but for you, you really cannot be put in a box. The shapeshifter, it says skill at navigating through different levels of consciousness and the ability to see the potential in everything. Yeah, so you see the potential in everything and everyone. And also you're a shapeshifter even on a smaller level. Ability to see the potential in everything. Does that not sound like a thrift girly? Does that not sound like a super earthy, creative, you know, person that can go to Dollar Tree and make like the most beautiful piece of art? Like it's giving, I use whatever I have to my benefit. And that's why I always win, because I don't need to be super high up or I don't need to be respected by this and this person to have my power. My power comes from whatever is around me. You are the portal. You are the transmuter. Things go through you. As soon as I said that, I looked at the clock and it's 11:11, baby. You are really a portal. This is kind of interesting. This is kind of crazy. Everything goes through you, and that's why they can't mimic your magic, because it's quite literally you. Like that's what they want to, you know, wield. They want to wield you. That's the thing. It's like, it's not a special gift. It's not one gift that you have. It's not one transit in astrology. Everything that comes to you, that full package, that is the power. And then we got the healer. It says passion to serve others by repairing the body, mind, and spirit, and the ability to transform pain into healing. Something that I keep getting though is that I don't know why, maybe it's a preference, but you really do give your gifts to people you don't know a lot of the time, like strangers or people online versus like friends, family. People who are close to you don't seem to have access to you. But people who are at a distance from you or that you don't know, you're much more comfortable giving to those people. So I don't know what that's about, but that did come through. Definitely a wild card, period, point blank. This is super strong wild card energy, and you have a very unique and strong aura. How do people see Group 1's beauty, Spirit? We have the King of Wands reversed and the Wheel of Fortune. People see you as someone with so much power and potential, but to them it looks like you don't use it. And that's also really frustrating. And I feel like that's because all your power and potential goes to, again, strangers or other people. It goes to the masses versus people who are around you who want to use you. Soon as someone wants to use you, it's kind of like your heart closes off to them naturally. Maybe it's even something that you can't control. It's like, I want to be there for you, but I just don't have the urge, you know? You could feel that your own. Knight of Cups at the bottom of the deck. That's a very giving, chivalrous energy. Someone who is such a giver, such a lover, but it just doesn't translate. So you'll have to let me know more about that. You probably already know what the tea is with that. We got the King of Wands reversed in the Wheel of Fortune. So it's like people see you as King of Wands, someone who could have so much power, but you don't really use it, or you only use it at random times, not in a way that people understand or respect or the way that they would use it themselves. And you may get a lot of unsolicited advice, Group 1, of people trying to tell you, no, you just need to do this. You know, you could be someone who's like drop dead gorgeous and people are like, get your money, make their pockets hurt. And you're like, I just don't have the urge to be around people and to thirstily chase after them and try to squeeze $1 out of them. Like, yeah, I can recognize my beauty, but I'm not going to wield it in that way. And people get so frustrated when they can't get you to, use yourself and your energy for. As soon as I stop shuffling, Ace of Pentacles, they get frustrated when they don't see you using your value for anyone but yourself. They're like, you could have so much more this, you could have so much more that. But for someone who sees truth deeply as you do, I feel like also people have a warped idea of reality. You may know what would really happen if you were to use yourself in the way that other people want you to. And they may have like a very idealistic way of viewing reality. So they just see someone pretty and they're like, oh, if you're pretty, that means you should be able to do this and this and this. But what they don't know is that it comes with that and that and that. And it would not actually be worth it or beneficial. But because you have something that a lot of people don't, they see you in a very unrealistic kind of way. You're a wild card through and through. That's what I got for you, Group 1. My Etsy shop is in the description. If you would like your own private tarot reading, that is where you can find me. And that's what I have for you today. I'll talk to you soon. All right, if you chose Group 2 with the Obsidian and the Secret Mirror Tarot, this is your reading, tapping in to see what is your beauty in their eyes. Are you a seductress or seductor archetype, angelic, or a wild card? We shall see, Spirit, for Group 2 with the Secret Mirror Tarot and the Obsidian. Please show us for Group 2, what is their beauty in others' eyes? How do others see Group 2? How do people see Group 2? Goodness, so many cards want to come out for you. Okay, so first 2 cards out, we got Mercury with communication, and then we got the Numinous card with mystery. This is the Numinous Astro deck, and this card basically is the wild card, and let's just read it. It says the unknown, the unknowable, ESP, psychic abilities, the cosmos, universal truth. You are a reflection of universal truth in some way, Group 2. I feel a very natural, strong, powerful, earthly aura from you, where it feels like you have a strong connection to the earth and a strong connection to higher level beings, spirituality. You could be a really big channeler, someone where it's like literally just in your everyday life. I'm not even talking online, just in your everyday life, you will find yourself channeling. And it's almost like after you say everything you say, you snap out of it. And it's like, dang, where did all that come from? I didn't even know that about you. How did that come out? Yeah, you're channeling. You're literally channeling from the higher realms. It says the unnameable, shadow work, inner knowing, tingling, ghosts, other worlds, the occult, and intuition. I'm seeing Sabrina the Teenage Witch. I'm seeing Charmed. I'm seeing a lot of those kind of shows. Yeah, now Spirit is even showing me like Halloween movies, like Halloween Town and Twitches. You may have been very drawn to specifically Halloween, but also spirituality, the occult, and now Spirit is showing me different, like occultism and different religions and things like that. You may have always been super drawn to the occult and other worlds. You may feel like a starseed. You may feel like someone who has special powers. I just saw 222. Mercury with communication, it says words, thoughts, analysis, information, and learning. Something super unique about you, Group 2, is you have the spiritual side, but also the super analytical side, the knowledgeable side, the masculine and the feminine. It says ideas, reporting, awareness, visions, perception, curiosity, muse, and wonder. I see that you have been a muse for a lot of people. People want to embody you. You really have that kind of soul child vibe to you where you seem to be tapped in genuinely to a world that most people are not. And it reflects in everything. Like it reflects in the way that you dress, the way that you talk. It's truly different. You seem like you're from a different time, genuinely. We have the sextile with opportunity. It says collaborates, assists, provides opportunity, creates possibilities for, open doors. You have a strong 1111 portal energy. Group 2, I'm seeing that you're a portal in some way. People go through you and they come out the other side different. You're a natural transmuter. It's kind of like you're your own planet and people admire you. And when they get close to you, they get to harmonize with you and aspect you just like planets would in astrology. And it's not always, the best thing either. Sometimes people meet you so that you are karma, or you are their tower moment, so that you get revenge, so that you get divine justice. And that goes back to, again, being a channeler. When you're a channel, it's not just your throat chakra and what you say, but it's what you do, and it's the role that you play. Spirit uses you a lot for spiritual purposes. You may honestly always get the bad customers that want to try to cuss you out, and then you gotta, show them when you F around, you find out, buddy. You could be the person that people were drawn to start conflict with. Teachers may have always picked you to share your opinions on different things talked about in school. Strong transmuter energy. People could meet you and then level up. People could also meet you and you could be divine justice or a tower moment. So far, it is giving wild card, but I'm just feeling like there's something else there. And as soon as I said that, we got the goddess coming out of the second deck. So I was like, I don't want to say wild card too quickly, even though we had the mystery card coming out from the first deck. I'm like, no, I feel something else there. What is that? So we have to see. Spirit, for group 2, what is their beauty in their eyes? How do people see group 2? We also have a lot of knowledge and wisdom. See, that's the thing. We have the goddess, the storyteller, and the destroyer. These are 3 distinct, different archetypes. Like if you were to think of a kingdom back in the day, the story could be like the gesture. The storyteller could be like the gesture. The goddess could be the queen. The destroyer could be like the opposing kingdom coming in, causing problems. Like, oh my goodness, you literally play so many different roles. I genuinely don't know how to categorize you. And I don't know why, but I'm just really not resonating with wild card. I'm like, why am I so against saying it's a wild card? I don't know. I just naturally want to categorize your energy differently, but I also don't know the word that I would even use because it's not complete angel. It's not complete seductress. You literally have all of the qualities. So it would be the wild card, but I don't know. I feel like there's something deeper, something more. How would you describe your own energy? Let me know. I'm curious. The goddess, it says the feminine expressed through wisdom, nature, life force, and sensuality. And that's what I was getting a lot with the first deck. It was like, I can definitely see the wisdom, the connection to higher knowledge with Mercury, but I can also feel this super strong life force, that numinous energy where it's like, you're definitely tapped into something else. And then there's the sensuality to you as well. And that comes from the mystery, but also the opportunity that people get when they connect with you with that sextile that we had before. It's like you bring so much to the table. We got the storyteller. It says the ability to experience and express life through stories and symbols. So you're someone who has been through some things as well. You have stories to tell. You may have a lot of big, grandiose stories as well where people will be like, no, that didn't really happen. Or people may always think you're lying. You could be someone who has lived genuinely a crazy life. And it's like you tell stories and people, they just don't believe that you've gone through that or XYZ happened. They're like, no, that's not real life. This isn't a movie. Like, stop telling stories. And it's like, no, that real life happened to me. I real life saw that. And then we have the destroyer. It says releasing what is potentially destructive and preparing for new life. So you've gone through a few lives in one. You may feel like that. You may feel like I've lived so many lives, even though you've only lived the one. Your life is kind of like ruled by eras. You definitely have eras, okay? On your Taylor Swift period, you have your eras where it's like, during this time, I was totally different than I am now. And, same for the next year and the next year. You're always on something new. You're always on something different. So the best way to explain this is the wild card, but you really do have all the qualities. Bottom of the deck, we have the Wheel of Fortune. You have all, it's like you are all the archetypes at the same time. Spirit, for group 2, how do people see their beauty? How do people see group 2? We got a lot of major arcana and really, really good ones as well. So it's a blessing and a curse though. The blessing is that star card, Ace of Pentacles, in your life, you've experienced some very high highs. This could be, just absolute sweeps, like times where you were making Ace of Pentacles a lot of money, times where you got to experience star card opportunities that people could not pay for. You may have, you know, like secured, I don't know, Spirit is showing me a yacht. So someone may have literally just been minding their business, got invited on a yacht, and your friends are able to come with you or something like that. I'm getting stuff like that. Like you've experienced things that most people just don't get to experience. But at the same time, the curse is Eight of Swords. You also have to experience a lot of pain or a lot of heartbreak. Knight of Cups reversed, because you are a channel of the divine. It's like, yes, I get all the beautiful experiences that everyone can barely believe when I share them, but at the same time, Judgment card, when Spirit blows that horn and tells me I have to work, the cycle starts whether I like it or not. And sometimes I have to let go of these eras that I wouldn't even personally choose to let go of because I really like them and they're so good. So it's like, yes, I get to see a lot of things, explore a lot of things. I have had a lot of experiences that other people haven't had, but at the same time, I do get used for higher level purposes. And sometimes, you know, my use in someone's life could be to, again, I was feeling that earlier where it's like people get into your life and they either have a tower moment or people come into your life and they can have like a huge level up. Sometimes you've had to watch people have these level ups and you didn't even get to be a part of that process, you know, and see the winning season and live it out with them. It's kind of like your teachers who teach you for years and then you graduate and you trash the school and everyone leaves and it's like, damn. Some of those teachers don't even get a goodbye from their favorite students that they've literally been a part of their growth process. Like, imagine how heartbreaking. And then add insult to injury, you gonna trash my school? Oh, hell no. These teachers deserve better for real. But that's the energy that I get with you. So it's a blessing and a curse for sure. Hierophant, also, you definitely have seen beyond the veil, group 2. And you have a lot of knowledge that a lot of people don't have. And it's enough to drive you crazy. Luckily for you, we have the Knight of Wands. So one of your favorite parts about yourself and your talent and your power and your purpose is that Knight of Wands. You do get to, a lot of times, you don't have to live in when things hit the fan. So it's like, just like you may have to let go of a good era in your life, you also get to Knight of Wands, swerve off on a bad era. So say you end up in a codependent relationship with someone, Spirit will really bring in like some divine intervention to get you out of that situation so it doesn't have to be like you're forever. Whereas a lot of people in similar positions would end up stuck in that relationship forever due to like the person. Oh my God. As soon as I just feel called to pick up the deck, we got the Justice card at the bottom of the deck. So many major arcanas, and it's like the stern ones, like Justice, Judgment, Hierophant, like oof, strong ones. So, you know, it's a blessing and a curse. You're definitely a wild card. That's not perfectly how I'd explain this energy, but that is the way that I'm going to have to settle on it because that's what we chose today. So one more message. We got journaling. It says consistently writing about your feelings and activities stirs creative ideas and brings your confidence as a writer. So maybe sharing your story, your life really has been a movie. That is something that Spirit is calling you to do. So I would start that platform, or I would start collecting those activities, those stories, those different things that you've gone through so that you can put it into one big book. And maybe it can be a book of lessons. You know, if you've ever read like any of Robert Greene's work, like the 48 Laws of Power, he uses history to support like his laws of power. Like he'll use a real life experience that has happened and been documented to show how something went well, something went wrong, you know, and relates it back to his main point. Maybe you can write down all of your experiences and you can use those to support like some beliefs that you want to share in the world based off of your experience and help people level up in a way that can even bring you a pretty penny. So maybe that's something you're called to work on with journaling, but regardless, journaling would help you even for transmutation purposes. And that's something very much so needed with someone who is used as a divine channel by Spirit. So that would really help you transmute this. That is what I have for you, group 2. I'm going to say Wildcard. My Etsy shop is in the description. If you would like your own private tarot reading, that is where you can find me. And that's what I got for you today. I'll talk to you soon. All right, if you chose group 3 with the Adventure Time Tarot and the Citrine Koi Fish, this is your reading, tapping in to see your beauty in their eyes. Are you a seductress, an angel, or a flat out wild card. What do people love about you? How do they see your beauty? Spirit, for group 3 with the citrine, please show us group 3's beauty in others' eyes. How do people see them? Seductress, angel, or are they a wild card? Okay, first strong romantic energy of the day. Really? Finally, we got some juiciness coming out. You guys got the 7th house that has come out for you, but you are a very non-conventional lover. Group 3, right away, you're giving strong seductress energy, and I feel like it's because people can't understand you, and also because you bring a different kind of love and experience in romance that people have never experienced before. The way you love your partners is very non-conventional. We got the 7th house of relating. It says partners, companionships, best friends. So this also relates to like anyone who's super close to you in your life. It could even be your friends. But it says marriage, relationships, opposition, communion, justice, balance, and social awareness. So a lot of people see you as a prize. A lot of people see you as a trophy. You're definitely giving strong trophy wife energy, or whatever the masculine equivalent would be. People see you as a partner they want to lock down. It's like you perfectly encompass the classiness that people, you know, kind of desire from relationships, that social awareness, like the 7th house said, but also that pure just delight and different energy, that wild, almost like Rihanna archetype, where it's like, I can't control this person, but I want to be so close to them. Uranus with revolution, it says originality, awakening, innovation, reform, surprise, freedom, the unexpected, the edge. Yeah, you take people to the edge. It says experimentation. You definitely listen, get people to try some new things, and I'm feeling that in the bedroom. And it says lightning as well. So you like really wake people alive. Like you come through with a lot of energy. We have the quincunx with complexity, so there is some depth to you. We have the semi-sextile with allowing, which also people really love. You're the kind of lover that will allow someone to drop themselves off the roster. You genuinely do not chase, you attract. You are such a strong seductress archetype or seductor archetype. Someone who doesn't have to do anything, but people naturally want to be near you. Like you are someone who can't be controlled, but yet people are so attracted to you, even if you're completely non-conventional. The quincunx, it says, mystifies, complicates, contradicts, clashes. So you may experience a lot of clashes in your relationships. People have a really hard time understanding you. It says, makes curious, educates, and transforms. So you bring out different versions of people, a lot of experimentation and exploration in relationships and connections with you. And then we have the semi-sextile. It says, encourages, sees the potential in, gives hope to. Yes, and that's giving me a little bit of angelic energy, because it's like, wow, finally the light at the end of the tunnel. You are the light at the end of the tunnel for a lot of people, romantically and friendship wise. If people are friends with you, they will get put on. And I'm seeing like official things too, like Spirit is showing me real estate and also credit things now. So you put people on in the sense where it's like, oh, you want to see what a real girl's girl looks like? How about we get you that home? How about that? How about I put you onto that program that can give you some extra cash? How about that? Like you're someone who's super tuned in to useful things that if someone were to have could make them so much more successful. And that is the way you help people. So this is super, super valuable. Let's see what else we get. It says grows, realizes, and rewards with semi-sextile as well. So a lot of people see you like a prize. A lot of people see you as someone who is hard to get, someone who is a prize, period. Okay, so we have the angel that has come out. So you have at least somewhat angel energy. We got a lot of relationship type energy or seductress energy before, but now we're getting some angelic qualities. So I definitely think you have both. Very, very loyal as well, I'm hearing. We have the king, the angel, and the detective, so they cannot lie to you. You can spot a fake from a mile away, whether that's a bag, whether that's a material thing, or whether that's a fake person, and you do not allow fake people around you. You are not someone who fakes the funk, group 3. If you don't like someone, you flat out separate yourself from that person. You will literally spend nights in versus nights out if it means that you will not be around people who you know aren't good for you, or people who have qualities and traits that would negatively affect you. Like, you will miss out altogether on all of that. And you create so much like comfort for other people that I'm sure you do that for yourselves as well. Your inner world is probably really nice and comfortable. The King, it says, enlightened, benevolent leadership benefiting those in your charge. So I'm also getting a strong polarity. You give a strong masculine and feminine energy at the same time. Very loyal. And that's what I was just talking about before we even pulled from the second deck. Like it says, benefiting those in your charge. That's exactly it. It's like people who are in your charge, your friend group, people who are on your side, on your team, they benefit drastically in very real ways, just like a king would. If a king is someone that you are friends with, you benefit in real life. You may get a chateau. You may get some land. You may get some money. You may get some gold, like real life tangible benefits. The angel, it says, helping those in need with no expectation of return. So a very generous person, very loyal, giving person. You may be the kind of person where it's like, if I give $20, I'm not expecting that person to give it to me back. If they give it back to me, cool. But if I let go of that 20, I already let go of that 20 in my heart, in my head. So whether or not I get it back, I'm not chasing you down for $20. If I give you some money, it's because I'm giving it all the way to you. And then we have the detective. It says, great powers of observation and intuition and the desire to seek out the truth. People have to be on their 10s with you. They really have to be on their best behavior. People have to be very high quality and very high character to stay around you, because they naturally push themselves off the roster. Also, something that I'm seeing is that you don't really argue with people. You're someone who just moves accordingly. So a lot of people, they get really nervous and they try to like trick you into having conversations with them that will confirm whether or not you saw that shady thing that they did and whether or not you're punishing them for it. But it's almost like you go into your aloof energy at that time. Like, you don't allow people to force you to say where you stand, and you don't allow people to force you to comfort them and make it feel like, oh no, we're still cool. We have the child orphan. It says independence based on learning to go at it alone and conquering the fear of survival. You've conquered the fear of survival. I was seeing that with real estate. I feel like you know some program or some way that you can own your first home with no money down and a super low loan or something. Like, I feel like you have conquered your fear of survival and necessity, whether that's financially or whether that's friendship wise or whether that's relationship wise. You do not hang on. You're giving Seductress an angel at this time. All right, very independent as well, which is almost like a wild card trait. So my goodness, Spirit, what is their beauty in others' eyes? How do people see Group 3? And here it comes. We got the World card reversed in the 9 of coins. So it's like, yeah, Group 3 is very abundant, 9 of coins, but World card reversed. They don't share it with nobody. They don't give it to nobody. They don't allow you to have this and this and that. And here's the thing. True generosity is what's given. Generosity is not what someone has the ability to manipulate or command out of you. So the moment that someone forces it out of you, it's no longer generosity. So you understand that. So you don't allow people to manipulate your wealth or your benefits. You don't give yourself haphazardly to everybody or to other people, because it's not true generosity if it doesn't truly come from you. So that's why people see you as like frustrating or selfish, because it's like, yeah, 9 of coins, they got that big house, or yeah, 9 of coins, they got that wealth, they got that car, that nice life, whatever, that beauty, whatever it is, but they don't give it to nobody. Yeah, she's super beautiful, but she hasn't had a date in 2 years. I didn't mean to snatch somebody's wig with that comment. Hopefully it doesn't hit home like that, because I didn't even mean to be so specific like that. But seriously, you're just so beautiful in the house. People feel like you're wasting your youth. You may hear different comments like that, like you have all these positive traits, but you don't even use them. Or you could do this and this and that, but you don't even take advantage of it. We have the Knight of Cups reverse and the Page of Coins reverse. So you're a very like selfless and detached person. Knight of Cups reverse, you can accept if you're not in a relationship. You can be totally happy single. Page of Coins reverse, again, you have conquered the fear of survival. So you're not constantly looking for new ways to, you know, get a quick buck, or how can I manipulate XYZ out of this person? It's like you genuinely feel like Spirit has got my back. It will come to me. Whatever I need, Spirit will give to me. How do they see Group 3's beauty? What do people love about Group 3? What do people say about Group 3, Spirit? Yeah, and I'm hearing they can't really say much because people don't really know you. We have the Eight of Swords, so people see you as accomplishing less than you have the ability to. And I think I was telling Group 1 this as well, but people have a very idealistic version of what it means to be you. 10 of Wands at the bottom of the deck, you actually have a lot of responsibility, a lot that you're responsible for, a lot that you have to do. And you're not, you know, big money bags like people think. We got the King of Coins reverse, or it's not about the money. Money is a byproduct of all that work you're doing behind the scenes. Eight of Swords, you actually have a lot of responsibility. People see you as a hermit, but it's not that you're a hermit, it's just that you're responsible. You're not running away from something, so you don't have to go out every weekend because going out isn't the height of your life. When you constantly take yourself out to new places or to see things or do things for yourself, your whole year is littered with positive and good experiences, so you don't have to chase after it. And that's what people don't understand. You actually have like this strong, yeah, it's reminding me of like the Schumann's resonance, like the frequency of the earth, just very strong and dominant, but not overpowering, can support life, can allow other people to shine. That is literally your energy. You don't need to show out because you really are him. You really are her. I love your energy. I'm going to say you're definitely a mix of a seductress and an angel. If I had to pick one, I would lean slightly more towards angel, but you're really a combination of the two. That's what I got for you, Group 3. My Etsy shop is in the description. If you would like your own private tarot reading, that is where you can find me. And that's what I got for you today. I'll talk to you soon. All right, if you chose Group 4 with the final Rose Tarot and the red jasper, this is your reading. Tapping in to see your beauty in their eyes. Are you a seductress or a seductor? Are you more angelic, ethereal, or are you just a flat out wild card? We shall see, Spirit, for Group 4 with the red jasper. Please show us their beauty in others' eyes. How do people see them? Okay. So right away, people see you as someone who is very mystical and magical. If you were to tell people that you were a fairy, honestly, I feel like people would believe it. She was a fairy. Yep, she was a fairy. Sorry, I can't. I just can't. I can't. My mind is filled with brain rot. I just cannot stop. It's like soon as I say it, soon as I say one word, it reminds me of that meme. It reminds me of that song. It reminds me of this and that. I can't help it. All right, let's talk about it. So we have the 8th house of intimacy and Pisces, the mystic here. So strong seductive energy. The 8th house, it says investments, intensity, physical intimacy, erotic capital. Ooh, what's erotic capital? What does that mean? It says secrets, mysteries, obsession, inheritance, kundalini energy, stalking, and the underworld. So you are someone who looks like a dark portal. That's how people see you energetically. It's like, I feel like I want to come towards this. I want to be close to the danger. I feel like I'll experience just the edge of reality. I feel like I'll experience something mystical, something magical. But if I get too close, I'll get sucked in to this portal. And that's intimidating. We have Pisces, the mystic. It says imaginative, compassionate, healing, mystical, magical, dreamy, ephemeral, enigmatic, spiritual, oceanic, illogical, escapist, and impractical. So honestly, being around you is kind of like a mind F. You know, people kind of lose grip of what is really reality. And we have the 11th house here with the edge. So it's like, yes, you definitely make people want to walk towards the edge. You kind of have this mind control or mind F power. You may start to notice that when people get around you, they start to act really uncharacteristically. Like almost being around you changes their nature naturally without even trying. You're very influential without even trying, I'm seeing as well. The 11th house of the edge, it says friendship, group creativity, humanity, tribes, festivals, common goals, experimentation, rebellion, and the future. Something that people really love about you is you can definitely tap into that wild card energy when needed. Yeah, I'm hearing re-ride at dawn. So you may be someone who fights for humanity, someone who joins the rebellion, someone who likes to protest, someone who likes to fight the power. We got Uranus, the 9th house with seeking, and the square with challenge, okay? Giving strong, what's good energy. Will stand 10 toes if need be. It's giving a little bit seductress, and it's giving strong wild card so far. Uranus with revolution, it says breakthroughs, originality. Yeah, you really are your own person. It says technology and innovation. Something about you, group 4, is you may always be on to the new apps before people are on it. So you know what this reminds me of? Like TikTok, I want to say it used to be Musical.ly, wasn't it? And then before that, wasn't it even something else? You may have been on it in the Musical.ly days before it became the TikTok that we know and love, for an example. Or you could have been aware of certain apps, or you could have been into certain art forms before all of a sudden other people are. We got the 9th house with seeking. Something I'm also getting is you're always constantly evolving above the curve. So as soon as people are finally into what you've been into 5 years ago, this could be websites that you get your clothes from, this could be style things, this could be like literally anything. Before other people are put on, you're on to something else. So once people finally do catch up, you're already into the next thing. And then you may notice that a lot of times it feels like trends kind of follow you. We got the 9th house with seeking. It says foreign travel, adventure, higher education, beliefs, pilgrimages. Yeah, you may like to go back to the motherland, whatever that is for you. You may feel like really strong connection to your homeland. It says spiritual quest, journalism, and risk-taking. So you're someone who's constantly going on your own quest in your own journeys. Strong individualist energy. And then we got the square with challenge. It says creates tension, sounds the alarm, motivates, pressures into. People want to be like you, but they can't sustain your energy, group 4. You may have a hard time maintaining friendships or even close relationships with family, etc., because people always seem to hit a wall, whereas you really do feel limitless. You create frustration with people. You know, eventually it's like, okay, so the card, it says demand, struggles, reorients, works out, and reconciles. So ultimately, you're showing people their shadow traits or their limitations so that they can overcome them and become better. But a lot of times it's not that people genuinely don't know in what ways they can be better. It's that they can't commit to that process of transmutation. So when you make people aware of the areas in which they can grow, even if like what you're telling them could make them a millionaire, what you're telling them can make them so successful and happy, people still start to become frustrated with you when you make them aware of that, because you don't just ignore the elephant in the room. You acknowledge these things. You acknowledge the areas in which someone is shortchanging themselves or not doing their best or not doing something efficiently. And it's like all good until that mirror is on them. And then it's like, hold on, are you saying that I need to change? You're highlighting my imperfections, you know, and it becomes very frustrating. And then people may start to turn on you where it's like, I'm making you aware of things that could literally make you a millionaire, like someone with so much value. And it was all cool in the beginning, but now that you got to really work through the hard part, people fold. People don't have your resilience. We got the gambler and the Samaritan. The gambler, it says willingness to follow your intuition even when others doubt you. That is like your superpower. You are really tapped into some higher level knowledge or information, and you will take that risk and that gamble literally even if you fail, because there's always some benefit. You're a master transmuter. Every situation benefits you. And this is why you have so much success and energy, because you're not beat down by the world, because you're constantly transmuting energy. You could have someone beefed out with you at work, and it's like you're transmuting that. You're using that to build a better body, more motivation in the gym. Imagining their face as their face on the, boxing bag as you're boxing. Like, everything becomes a benefit to a transmuter, and that is exactly your energy. We got the Samaritan. It says refines your capacity to help those who you would prefer to ignore. So you're someone who will take the time to help people even when it's more of a burden, even when it's something heavy. I feel a little bit of an energy of you being used by the higher power to transmute other people and to help other people. And then we have the Gossip card. It says, awakens consideration for the feelings of others and honoring trust. This is strong girl energy. Y'all let me know what the male equivalent would be so I can start saying that too. But this is strong girl energy, where it's like, it's reminding me of like the T app I saw the other day, which is an app where, you can go on there and share your experiences with certain people. I haven't actually been on the app at all, but I did see a video someone posted about other people's experience with it. You're someone who will literally go warn that ex. It's like, you know what? Let me warn them from a spam account then, since, I don't want to deal with any drama. I don't need them turning on me and making me the problem if they don't want to accept it. But let me make sure they get this information. You will really go out of your way to help even people that you don't know. You could be at a club, see someone stumbling, looking disoriented, and help them. You see a group of people looking shady, looking like they want to close in on that person. You will literally be like, oh, Sandra, is that you? Come on, we're over here, girl. Like, you will literally help people. Spirit, how do people see group 4's beauty? How do people see them? What makes people drawn to group 4? So many cards want to come out, but they're like jumping out with these big, huge piles versus coming out individually, so we know it's your message. That is so funny. So this is like the Final Rose Tarot is embodied, like it's made with like the Bachelorette franchise in mind. So at the bottom of these cards, they all have little sayings, and we have the Gossip that has come out from this deck as well. So we got 2 decks talking about you messy. So I don't want to hear, no, I'm not a gossiper. They tell me. And honestly, okay, I'll take that. That could be true, because some people really do just have that face, that energy where it's like, oh my God, I just overshared to a stranger. And it's like, how did that happen? And it's like, they had the face. They had the face. You may have the face, group 4. But we got another card coming out talking about the Gossip. I just thought that was funny. We got the Ace of Swords reversed and the Page of Swords upright. So I feel like people want to be led by you, but they also feel like they're being led into oblivion. They also feel like kind of scared. People are drawn to you, attracted to you. They want to tell you everything, but they also feel like you hold a lot of power. They're very intimidated by you. I'm feeling strong wild card energy for you, mostly with a little bit of seductor tease. We have the the 6 of Swords here as well. So you're willing to move on, willing to let go. People don't feel very much security with you, which is ironic, because if people are close to you, it's like they get a lot of benefits and typically they level up. But also the closer, the more dangerous things become. People can become very vulnerable in an unfortunate situation if they give you too much power. People are intimidated by you, but at the same time, they want you to be in that like mothering, fathering position. They want you to be their protector because they see your power, but they also don't want to be too close, because they feel like you could negatively affect them or reveal all their secrets, or some way, somehow they could end up losing if you wanted to. We got the Ace of Cups reversed and the 4 of Pentacles reversed. So ultimately, you're a very generous person, but I don't see from a heart space that you connect with very many people. People really do have to earn your trust and love. We have the 9 of Wands reversed. You could be like anti-drama, like no new friends energy, because it's like people and humanity just comes with burdens. You could be someone who's really into human nature. If you are, I would recommend The Laws of Human Nature by Robert Greene. That book is amazing. It will change your life in relation to other people and really teach you about other people. I'm going to say you're a wild card with a little strong seductive side as well. That's what I got for you, group 4. My Etsy shop is in the description. If you would like your own private tarot reading, that is where you can find me. And that's what I got for you today. I'll talk to you soon.